This past week, I was on one of my favorite trails with my bike. Now, there are several gravel roads that go across the trail, and one in particular never seems to have any traffic on it. But nonetheless, I still slow down and look both ways. As I approached that particular crossing this week, I looked through the trees and the shrubs. I saw nothing coming, or at least I didn't think anything was coming. And as I moved into the crossing, lo and behold, there was a red pickup there that slammed its brakes on, and I slammed my brakes on and missed going on top of his hood by about 2 feet. And both of us kind of stared at each other, stunned. He rolled his window down. I was sure he was going to yell at me. But instead he said, "I apologize. I know there's a bike crossing here. I should have gone slow." And then I said to him, "I looked both ways. Obviously I didn't look clearly enough. I'm sorry as well." And we both went on our way. So as I was pedaling onward, I thought to myself, what's the lesson that I need to learn out of this experience? And what came to my mind was a very simple idea, and that is that, at least for me personally, this may not be true for you, but for me personally, I can get so focused ahead on where I'm going that I don't pay attention to where I am. Maybe that's true for you as well. Maybe in your life you have a habit of also getting really focused on where you want to be, where you want to go, and you don't pay attention to where you are in the moment. And there are some real dangers that come with not being aware of where we are in the moment. A couple that come to my mind is, obviously, there's the danger of injury. Sometimes we think we're invulnerable, but the reality is we're all very vulnerable. Secondly, there's the missed opportunities that sometimes are right in front of us in the moment if we would pay attention. Opportunities that could benefit others, opportunities that could benefit us, and more importantly, opportunities to glorify God. And then thirdly, there are people. There are people who are always crossing our path that may need us, that may need a word of encouragement, may need some actual help. And if we're so focused on where we're going, we will miss out on those people, those opportunities, and perhaps be in trouble with the danger that's around us that we have a tendency not to see. In the Bible, there are two words for time. One is chronos. That's kind of like time in motion, past, present, future. It's like the clock ticking ahead. And then there's kairos. And kairos is time in the moment. It's time like right now. When you look at the life of Jesus, he lived with a sense of both chronos but also kairos. Jesus knew how to live in the moment. And he's the example that I need to be following in my own life. And I want to challenge you to follow him in the same way as well. You know, Jesus was well aware of the people who were around him, and he sought to minister to them, whether they were little children or women who had been rejected by society, were being threatened with stoning. Jesus also lived and was very aware of the opportunities in front of him to speak, to touch, to listen, to encourage, to help. And Jesus was also very aware of the danger around him. I think about Jesus in Matthew 4 when he faced all those temptations. He was aware of the evil around him, and he was prepared to deal with that as well. So I want to suggest to you 4 different ways that you and I can live in the moment and be more aware of the people, the opportunities, and the dangers that are around us. So here they are, and I have some scriptures to go with them. First of all, I want to challenge you and myself to be more present with our thoughts in the moment. That is, focus our thoughts in the moment. Not focus our thoughts in the past, not focus our thoughts in the future. This is what it says in Matthew 6:34. "Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble on its own." And in Isaiah chapter 43, verse 18, the prophet says, "Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past." So right now, are you focused on the present or the past? Are you focused on the present or the future? Secondly, practice being thankful, or practice gratitude, another way of putting it. Paul wrote to the Thessalonians in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 18, "Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus." You know, we have a tendency to worry, don't we? And when you're worrying, you're not thankful. What are you thankful for right now, in the moment? Practice those moments throughout the day of just stopping and being thankful. In fact, when you're feeling ungrateful, when you're feeling threatened, when you're feeling upset, think of something to be thankful for. Number 3, listen, do less. I got to hear that one. Do less. Instead of trying to do everything, all right? Just do a few things at a time. In Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 6, it says, "Better one handful with tranquility than 2 handfuls with toil and chasing after the wind." And last but not least, and this is the most challenging, stop multitasking. It's been proven over and over again that multitasking is less effective. Let's all see if we can figure out how to single task in the moment. It says in Colossians 3:23, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters." So there you go. 4 ways that you and I can learn to live in the kairos, in the moment, and ways that we can pay better attention to the people, the opportunities, and the dangers that are around us. Hey, I hope you have a good Friday and a great weekend.